Hello everyone, I'm Chester44, also known as Falai, and welcome to this Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. Last episode, we did a little bit of talking in the tavern and other people around here, and we picked up a couple quests that we had to take care of. Fairly simple. Also stopped a guy who was trying to rob some ale from the inn, and now he's banned from it. He's not happy. He deserved it. Anyway, let's take a look and see what else we can find around here. May as well. Let's see. That opens up the path to Durgan's Battery. We'll need to open up the other paths here that we have. And see what other buildings we can look in. Like this one here. Let's see.
They gone? Have those nasty brutes finally left?
Let's see. These teeth have been sanded smooth in preparation for carving.
I heard the ogres outside, tearing down walls and murdering folk. Don't remember how things got this bad.
The elderly woman needs her hands. Her knuckles are swollen knobs and her palms are ridged with calluses that scrape and rasp as she rubs them together.
But you're the new adventurer. Renengild's latest volunteer.
She squints at you, leaning precariously forward on her wobbling legs. I'd like to ask you about something.
Did you say something, dear?
Tell me about yourself.
Me? I was the overseer at the mine, back when it was running. Got shut down decades ago when we couldn't sell or ship the stuff. But I still remember plenty about the mining business. And I got as many folk as I can digging out the entrance.
She taps her head, a spotted dome under a thinning patch of hair.
Been praying to the salty wench that I don't forget too much before they finish the job. Got to speak up?
Okay, and that's all from you. Not much to learn from you at the moment. Maybe later on she'll have more to say. We'll find out, eventually, I'm sure. Or probably sent to her for a quest or something. We'll find out. Okay, anything here? Oh, right, that was, okay, can't get anything out of that. Let's take a look to the south here. Looks like they put out the fire. Okay, that'll take us to Russet Wood. Hope the woman from that is okay.
Feels like it's hardly worth putting the huts back up.
Better than standing out here shivering.
You gotta at least do something. You gotta try.
Fresh fish! Freshly caught!
Oh!
Effigy's eyes! It looks at me! Ah!
The hell was that about? A dozen pairs of globular eyes stare up piteously from the discarded heads of the day's catch, awash in a pungent sea of fins and innards. Sift through the fish scraps, I guess. Your hand runs up against something round and fleshy, the size of a melon. It is smooth and scaleless, and parts seem to be covered in hair. A discarded head, perhaps, but not that of a fish. Poke it. The head shifts deeper into the barrel's slimy recesses. Pull it out. With one hand on either side of the head, you begin to lift it out of the barrel, only to have it leap from your grasp as the head's owner springs over the lip of the barrel in an eruption of fish chunks that rain down over the market stall. The man who leapt from the barrel stands facing you, nearly naked save for a loincloth and drizzled in fish viscera. He is covered head to toe in scars, tears, and punctures, and the thorny imprints of lashings. Most are faded, like old memories. Despite that, the condition of the man's body is remarkable, the drooping skin at his flanks and elbows the only evidence of his advanced age. His face is placid, but the rest of him appears prepared for anything.
You must forgive, Zahua. I was not expecting you.
He looks you in the eye at first, but his gaze drifts now and then, settling on strange parts of your face, as though distracted by new discoveries. If he is at all flustered, he gives no indication. That was an intro. What were you doing in that barrel? Zahua scratches behind his ear, dismayed.
Resting my eyes, I thought. Waiting for the Malkachoa to bring me insight. It would seem I dozed. A good thing my master was not alive to see it.
Zahua blinks, leaning in to get a better look at you. His enlarged pupils seem to crowd out his pale irises.
Are you real?
Yes?
Of course. I meant no offense. But I find it is best to ask when Malkachoa is involved.
I'm guessing Malkachoa is some kind of drug.
A small white mushroom. I have heard it called snowcap in these lands.
Ah. So yes.
It can reveal the true nature of many things.
You have a master, you said. The man traces your inadvertent glance at his scars. He smiles politely.
A teacher, not an owner. Zahua is a free man. Well, as free as any of us.
Okay, that kind of master. But I still don't understand why you were in that barrel.
I was freeing myself from vanity.
Did he say sanity or vanity?
Consider, how can one be vain who is bathed in the smell of dead fish?
You would be surprised, actually. I hardly noticed the smell.
I had the idea when I passed this way earlier. I am pleased with the results so far.
He smiles at a woman whose head is swiveled towards him as he passes by, a look of revulsion on her face. Distracted, her toe catches on a stone and she nearly falls on her face. He claps his hands together.
Yes, quite pleased.
Do you often smear yourself with fish?
Gods, no. What a way to travel the world. The usual way is to smear yourself with the ashes of the dead. But they do not burn their dead here, so I have to make do with what the land provides. The cold seems to conquer the smell. Even now, the scent hides itself. Disappointing.
Those scars are from battle? Zahua glances down at his body.
From battle, yes. I left them upon my enemies.
He points at various patches of crisscrossing scars.
These were struck against fear. These against pleasure. These against hatred. Those down there against greed and doubt. And these...
He points to his face.
These were for vanity.
So you made those scars?
I cannot take credit for all of them, but I did most of the good ones. I put them there in battle to remind myself what is real and what is not. Our worst enemies are inventions of the mind, pleasure, fear. When we see them for what they are, we become unstoppable.
And you have achieved this.
I feel I have been close, but never for more than an instant. In the moment when the pain is sharpest, the world becomes clear. In that moment, I am a match for anyone.
Your wounds must have caused you to suffer greatly.
Of course. I am fortunate to have suffered so much. If I did not suffer, I would not aspire to free myself from it. I would wander from one unfulfilling goal to the next. More wealth, a better station. My soul would wither. But to search for a place beyond suffering's reach is to nurture the soul, to harden it against the elements. Suffering is the greatest gift the gods have given us, their most beautiful, perfect creation. It is the hand that turns the wheel.
His eyes gleam as though looking upon an old and beloved friend. So what you're saying to me is you're a masochist. Okay, gotcha. You don't seem like you're from around here.
I was visiting a monastery not far from here. I found it empty, but I met a messenger as I left. He carried a call for aid. Seeing that he would find no monks at the monastery, I chose to go in their place. Zahua is no longer young, but in combat he is still the greatest of the Takan people. It seemed only right that he should go.
Stalwart hired me as well.
I would not say I am hired. I seek no wage, and I promise no result. I have chosen a path, and my spoils come from walking it.
An uneasy frown settles on his face, almost a wince.
And this fortress, this Durgan's battery, its people are gone. Zahua would know why.
If you seek the White Forge as well, I could use the help of an experienced warrior. Zahua's face tilts upward, his eyes fixing on the sky. He remains motionless, entranced. At length he blinks as if awakening and looks back at you. He shrugs cheerily.
If one wishes to swim, it is no time to argue with the current. We are here together in this moment because a perfect force has willed it. Who is Zahua to argue?
He looks you squarely in the eyes, and for once, they do not drift.
I will walk with you so long as the gods wish it so.
Let's be on our way. He is a monk. Okay. Adair, you step to the side for now. We got another melee guy. We'll try him out for a bit.
Age has slowed me.
But we're going to want to speak with him a little bit. Let's see. So, he is a monk. Nice beard. Let's see. Athletics, lore, survival 9. Fairly impressive. Perception, intelligence, and resolve fairly low. Quite a bit of smite and constitution. That's pretty nice. Bears fortitude. Transcendent suffering 3. Okay. Monks achieve greater understanding of their body's capabilities through enduring the hardships of existence. Their base unarmed damage starts much higher than other characters and increases permanently every 3 levels they gain. He's going to be punching people for that. Yeah. Okay. AI uses swift strikes or torments reach at the first opportunity, uses clarity of agony whenever subject to a hostile status effect with duration over 5 seconds, stunning blows whenever possible, or disruptor, behaves as aggressive but prioritizes spellcasters and characters with low deflection and will break engagement to do so. I think we'll go with that, and we'll leave you as aggressive. Okay. And as for what he's currently using, he does not have anything. Okay, I think we can give him at least some... Jeez, he doesn't even have an outfit, really. I mean, I guess I can give him, this unique light armor. That's probably fine. Not Rundle's finery. That's intellect, lore giving. No. We'll give you Blide Golan, which will keep you up. Probably the wisest idea, I think. There. We also have, let's see, something for the neck. I guess the max endurance bonus will work. I guess I can give you this, and I'm not going to give you that. So you'll have that, and what is this again? Dominate twice per rest. Sure, why not? Alright, buddy.
Zahua is ready.
So you've got Stunning Blow, Second Wind, Torment's Reach, enemies in a cone, Force of Anguish, Knock the target back, Duality of Mortal Presence, dedicates all his or her presence of mind to physical world, granting a bonus to deflection, bonus to saves. Okay, let's talk with you, buddy.
My thoughts wander often to the lost builders of this fortress we seek. They were erased from the world. I wonder, was it meant to be so?
Maybe there are still traces of them.
After 2 centuries, I would not hold out hope. All things fade, and always sooner than we wish.
Okay, can we still talk with you?
Zahua
Yes.
is ready. These feuds between Ogre and Kith, I do not see them ending until one is wiped out. Or both.
So, you seem to have some interesting beliefs. Tell me of them.
The ways of the Nalpazka can make little sense to an outsider.
Who are the Nalpazka?
We are the warriors of the Takan. Nobles, peasants, it does not matter. We are souls caged in flesh, nothing more.
He knocks on his sternum.
But it is one thing to say it, another to know it. So we train until we know it. Or until we meet our ends.
Zahua regards you a moment.
I give this answer because it is what you wanted. But the Nalpazka would say different. They would say that we are nothing at all.
And what do the Nalpazka seek? Zahua studies the horizon. He smiles as if at a pleasant thought and does not look at you as he speaks.
Perfection.
He lets the word hang in the air a moment, as though it were an invocation.
Look around you. The world is perfect. Every being, every moment, every death.
He frowns and shakes his head.
Rarely do we see this. We stumble through life, lost in distractions. Every practice of the Nalpazga is a reminder to stop stumbling, to know the perfection.
And how can you say the world is perfect?
You think the world imperfect? Most would agree. Most would say the world is imperfect because we suffer. They imagine a world without suffering and dream of living there, and suffer all the more for it.
Beneath Zahua's calm expression, a deep fervor begins to glow like fanned embers.
This is their mistake. The world is perfect. It was created by a boundless wisdom. It is for us to learn why a perfect world requires that we suffer.
One could argue that the suffering allows you to appreciate the good things all the more. When we met, you said you were freeing yourself from vanity.
Vanity is a snare that roots us to the ground. The way we see ourselves, the way others see us, these things are not real. They cannot be touched. The Nalpazga teachings reveal many such snares. Fear, pleasure, doubt, hatred. They hold us back if we let ourselves be caught.
And what happens if you can avoid being caught?
Then you see only what is truly there, and you suffer no longer. You become as a god, seeing things as they do.
Zahua speaks as one recalling a fantastic dream.
If you can loose yourself from the snares, then you are free.
Tell me about your scars.
I meet people on the road, and they pity me. I have come to find it endearing. They see so many scars, and they wonder, how can the man beneath not be broken?
He runs his fingers over the puckered remnants of a gash on his left forearm.
A scar is a wound that heals, a living reminder of our power over suffering. They cause no pain, only the echo of pain, which cannot hurt you. Show me a scarred man, and I will show you a man who can overcome.
You know, that's actually kind of profound in a way. I like that. Going away from the profound, why had you eaten snowcap when we met?
The Malkachoa? At any time, it is rare that I have not eaten some.
Ah.
When you first try it, it seems a beautiful fantasy. You see colors you have never seen, meet creatures that are not there. With practice, you see that all it does is show you reality, the essence of all things, how they are alike and connected. I have watched trees grow and wilt before me. I have tasted meat and known the animal's life as if it were mine.
He leans in conspiratorially.
But the Malkachoa often causes the stomach to empty with great violence, so it is not for everyone.
Right. So, those who tend to vomit shouldn't have it. Noted. Right. Tell me again why it is you think we should suffer.
If I did not suffer, I would not aspire to free myself from it. I would wander from one unfulfilling goal to the next, but to search suffering, I would gladly cast light upon them.
Okay. Yeah, we heard that. Alright, let's try something else.
You would ask much of one who knows little.
Where did you learn how to fight?
Most Akan have two choices. They can grow crops, or they can become Nalpazga warriors. I was the youngest of 5, a dreamer. The Nalpazga were always in my thoughts. They did not feel the same about me. 3 times I tried to join their ranks. 3 times I was refused.
And why were you refused?
All that time spent dreaming, and I had not thought to prepare. I was lazy, uncoordinated, overweight.
Ah.
If they had not refused me, what shame I might have brought to them.
But they accepted you eventually.
They had no choice. Our high priestess had a vision.
Wait, let me guess. Malkachoa?
Malkachoa, plus some other shit. knowing her. No one put on a better ceremony than she did.
And what did she see?
She saw me as chieftain, leading a host of Nalpazga warriors to victory over our enemies, the Quetzmotl.
The last word twists his mouth as though he'd eaten something spoiled.
Our last chieftain had died over the winter. A new one had not yet arisen from the Nalpazga. So the timing was right. The next day they brought me before Ishipilo, the great master of the Nalpazga, and I became his pupil.
And this Ishe Pilo taught you everything you know now?
I still trained with the other instructors, sparred and meditated with my Nalpazga brothers and sisters. I learned from all of them, but learning from Ishipilo was a chieftain's privilege. He knew the secrets that could grant mastery over reality, invincibility in combat. When an Nalpazga was deemed a worthy successor to a chieftain, greater than all his peers, Ishipilo would take him in, prepare him for the future. I would not be as I am now without his lessons.
You said your teacher knew how to master reality. Did you learn his secrets? And don't tell me it was more Malkachoa, please. Zahua opens his mouth to speak, but only a slow exhalation escapes. He looks at you, frowning, and tries again.
Not all of them.
What was it your master never taught you?
A story for another time, perhaps. One thing he did teach me was that the more you talk, the less you hear. And the less you hear, the less you have that is worth saying.
As you say. Tell me about your home.
Ishimidal is vast. Outsiders think of it as one land and its people as one people. But if you walk across it, you see that there are many Ishimidals. The Ishimidal that the Khan know is rich in soil and water. The crops seem to grow in front of you. We build our homes along the Aki River, and it is good to us. Though every so often it floods, so that the Khan do not forget their suffering. It would not be the rainy season without my neighbor Esley swimming after his escaped goats and nearly drowning.
The mirth on Zawa's face buries itself suddenly as though evading capture.
But home is an idea, no more real than justice or honor. My home is here now, wherever I stand.
And what were you doing before you came here?
I hope to share knowledge with the monks of the Thousand Dreams. Their monastery lies east of here. They are said to be seekers of greater truth, like the Nalpazga. But if they still exist, I did not find them there.
Let us keep moving then. Okay. An interesting person, this guy. This Zahua. We may keep him for a little bit. I believe his personal quest will come at some later point. I think we have a few minutes we can look around a little bit more. Let's take a look inside the fishing building. Anything of note in here?
Perhaps I should wait outside.
Fishery's closed for the night. This tattered net appears to have been set aside for mending. The dead eyes of speckleback, iron-tooth pike, and frost diver fish gaze up at you. These roasting fish provide much of the pungent odor permeating the fishery. Oh, it's closed for the night. Maybe if we came back in the day, we'd be able to see something. Let's see if there's anything else around here. Something to loot. A couple of fish. Maneha. Barath spell. Barath spell. And Barath spell. And other named people around here. And a small hut over here. Oh, there's some things we can loot outside. Oh. I'll find it without your help. Not giving up, you hear me? Charlatans. Perhaps if I adjust it like so. A dwarf paces with his head down and arms crossed, only stopping to hurl glances at the building behind him. His face is smeared dark with grime, and soot falls from his beard as he mumbles to himself. Work my hands into bloody stumps in this place, and for what? He kicks at a mound of dirty snow. Start with nothing, leave with less. Who are you yelling at? At idiots, that's who. And I'm as much to blame for believing them. The dwarf wrinkles his nose, nostrils flaring like a horse. Well, good riddance. Should have never settled here in the first place. Some things you mean to leave behind. Come to find out, you packed them away anyway. But I'm not leaving until I recover what's mine. They can't deny me again. Not after this. Okrun gestures at the burnt-out buildings. Those sweet-tongued priests took my heirlooms. Bury the memory of my past, they said. Now I don't even have that. I take it you gave something of yours to one of Andra's gift-bearers. Okrun takes his gaze away from the ground and gives you a sideways glance. You're quick. Wish I had had those wits when they spoke of peace and redemption in the eyes of the goddess. Those priests, Andra's dogs, said the goddess would forgive, that some things are best left to be forgotten. He nods toward the nearby temple. Their leader laughed. I believed her words. Another one of them, a gift-bearer, took my medallion. He closes his stocky hand into a fist. And now they won't tell me where it is. Your problem is that you give meaning to meaningless objects. Here, let me show you something. I need one of your rings. Okrun draws back his hand, but Zahua gives him a trustworthy nod. After a moment's hesitation, Okrun relents, dropping a jeweled band into Zahua's outstretched palm. Immediately, Zahua flings it into the lake. See? You are no worse off. Okrun's face, already splotched with pink from the cold, turns a deep shade of crimson, and his mouth puckers as though his head were set to implode. After a tense moment, his breathing slows and his fists unclench, his original look of pained frustration returning. Oh boy. Why won't they tell you? Because they think they know better, that's why. Said it was the only way I'd forget. What did you want to forget about your past? That was a different life. Better days until... Okrun closes his eyes and shakes his head. Motes of soot fall onto his hunched shoulders. It's my burden to bear, not yours. I thought to cast it away, but the memories I lost were all the wrong ones. What else did you give the priests? The dwarf casts a measuring look at you. He quickly turns his head away and nods. You'd understand its value. My armor, a set finer than I've ever seen, but worthless to an old dwarf. I'd have traded it for the medallion, but fool that I was, I gave them both. Maybe there's something I can do. Not the kind of talk that I've grown used to these last few years, I'll admit. The priests may pretend otherwise, but folks here tend to look only after themselves. I'd be surprised if they return it willingly. They believe it's a sacred duty to cast the offerings for the goddess in some place where they'll be forgotten. Better to find where they drop them, I think. What is Laughter's role in all this? Oh, she leads that group of crows. They took over the temple as folks started to leave. Came to unburden those that sought to forget their misery here, they say. Tell me about this medallion you want to recover. Oh, it belonged to my sister. It was just a pretty trinket to her. To me... The dwarf casts his gaze down. She was the last of my family. At least that still acted like family to me. Farewell, then. I don't expect luck to grace me now, but if you find anything, I'll be here. Count on it. Alright. Well, while there is still more to look around in town, I think I'm going to have to end this episode here. Next episode, we'll take a look around a bit more, and I think there's another companion we'll be able to get over here. We'll speak to them shortly. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I am Chester44, also known as Fly. That is Laniara, Zahua, Durance, Aloth, Kana, and Sagani. This has been a Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity, and I shall see you all next time.